Hello survivors and welcome to another video. In today's video we are going to be having a blast. There are a specific amount of skills we're going to be using and they remind me of two other characters from other games. Let me know down in the comments section if you catch which two characters I might be thinking about. I'll let you know if you're right or wrong down in the comment section. But anyway, let's get straight into it. We're playing a blast build. We're going to be running skill mastery blast with skill inclination blast, reroll mastery, fateful strike, focus fire, vulnerable target, and critical mastery. We are going to be using the demon hunters.
That's a Freudian slip there.
The demon hunter's second weapon with the quick blast and ammo overload, along with a bloodlust, as well as chaotic surge as well. So 4 blast skills, 2 chaos skills. We don't really need any skill chain or anything like that, or any of the synergetic upgrades, so we're not running that as a skill. But let's just get straight into it. Now, unfortunately, this skill or this build is more visually appealing than it is really strong. You can get to maybe Overlord 6 with the really good upgrades or good luck, but we're not going to do that. We'll maybe do like Overlord 1 or 2, just so we can get to the point where it looks really visually appealing. That's what this build is for, or at least the way I'm building it. It's going to look really cool, but it's not going to do much for us. So there's that. I personally feel like we don't need every single skill in the game to do billions of DPS. Sometimes it's just really cool to have a skill that looks really nice. And these ones are it. Also, the artifact power for this weapon is shattered along with cunning, so that's really good. But besides for shattered, again, there isn't anything that this build actually does for us in terms of buffs or debuffs or anything like that on enemies, and that's why it doesn't really push very far compared to others. Alright, we're going to grab the disarray over here. We get power blast. We are looking for buckshot and power blast. And power blast gives us devastating, and that's why we're going for crit, so that we can have those devastating hits on power blast. I think we are going to try and get power blast to be the highest damage that we get as a skill, but we do have the second skill with quick blast, the ammo one, if we can find it quickly, that will also give us damage based on how many ammunition stacks we have. But you'll see by the end, devastating should have done more damage, hopefully, than all the other skills. It really just depends on which skills you get more upgrades for and things like that. But you can kind of force it. If you're looking, oh, I want the skill to do a lot of damage, then you can kind of ignore other skill upgrades and you can go and upgrade the skill that you're looking to do the damage for. So here it is, ammo overload. Like I mentioned, deals damage based on the number of stacks of ammunition on you. Because the stacks are always going up and down, it really doesn't help that much. So it is what it is. Alright, we're just looking for bloodlust and chaotic surge. There's chaotic surge, that's really good. We do want the cast frequency on everything. Buckshot has brutal as well, which is going to give it more damage based on how close we are to the target, which is good. It helps us as well with the focus fire, since we want to be close to the targets as well. And there is bloodlust. Fantastic. Now we just need more multicast and more cast frequency to get to look like the characters we mentioned in the beginning of the video. Although we didn't mention them, you're mentioning them down in the comment section. Cast frequency, let's go push G, laugh, cast frequencies and potencies. Magnetic is good, a little bit of movement speed hasn't hurt anyone. So I'm not going to really speak about my upgrades, we'll do them quite quickly. What we are going to be focusing on is going to be cast frequency, multicast, and then damage on devastating blast, on power blast as well as ammo overload. Those are the 2 skills we're going to be focusing damage on, and then potency of course on our chaotic surge as well as bloodlust. So we get that huge crit damage as well as the beautiful cast frequency from the 2 buffs. Another thing is we get quite a lot of damage as well as crit damage from our ascension, so we do want to move around the map for this one. Usually when it comes to ascensions, we can kind of forget about them sometimes if it means we get out of the corner in terms of speed. But since the developers did change it, that it doesn't actually matter how quickly you now do a run, it means that we don't have to worry about moving around. We can, it's actually better for us to move around and get to certain places, get our ascension. It's going to give us a lot more power than if we were just chilling in the corner. So the fact that we're no longer stressed about time, in a sense, we're not trying to speed run, as long as we get under 12 minutes, which we definitely would, then the timing doesn't actually matter. Where previously, before the New Beginnings, the Monkey King update, the faster you did things, the less health and stuff like that, the less scaling the enemies had. So you wanted to speed run, whereas now that no longer happens. So it doesn't even matter whether you take 5 minutes or 11 minutes. The enemies are going to be the same, strength or health and things like that. So, just in case. Alright, demonic binding. Like I mentioned, you can only get that to 50%. Area of effect for the Bloodlust and Chaotic Surge. One of them, getting one is about good. That will affect our demonic portal as well as our ascension. So we do want a little bit of area of effect, but otherwise we're not really interested in things like that. I don't think we're going to need armor or block. We're not really looking at getting very far with it, but we'll keep it just for now, just in case. But like I mentioned, we're not really looking to take this one very far. This one's more of a visual appealing one, as you can see. Just a really, really fantastic looking skill. Ooh, so good. Alright, we're going to give it a couple more minutes and then I will let you know who I thought of as soon as I saw these skills together. 2 characters come to mind. One is going to be, if I say the name of the game, you'll definitely know who I'm talking about, so we'll skip that one. But one of them is going to be Diablo, and that's already given away, that one. So we think of the Demon Hunter from Diablo. We don't have the spinning attack, but I mean the dual attack on its own. I mean, if I go and focus in a single direction, it just looks insanely cool, and it is really, really insanely cool. So kind of gives me the Demon Hunter Diablo 3 vibe to it. And then the second character we're looking at is actually going to be Dante from Devil May Cry. So I don't know if you guys agreed with me over there. You can again edit your comment down below that you already put and say, oh no, edit. At least we're all going to see that you edited the comment. I think you get to see that someone edited the comment. Yeah, you do. So we will be able to see whether or not you changed your comment or not, or whether you cheated and just waited for me to mention who it was. Alright, going for crit. The beautiful multicasts are good. We get the damage, the demonic binding increase, and now it's 10%. And more from there. Damage to the power blast as well. So 10% increased damage, multiplicative damage per summoned demon, which is fantastic. And you can just see we do have decent amount of damage on the first cycle. 5 minutes on the dot. We are going to keep going. Like I mentioned, we're going to do about 2 or 3 cycles just so we can get that cast frequency going. But I just want to show you as a skill breakdown already. You can see our demonic portal, which is actually our artifact power, and our ascension are doing the most work right now. So they are heavy lifting us into the extreme right now. And I think the demonic portal, or one of them, is actually going to keep the most damage throughout the entire thing. So artifact power is really something not to take lightly. One of the other things is, like, when you get your bleed on hit or poison on hit and things like that, I do believe the artifact powers get that as well. So in this case, we do run quite a lot of disarray, which means we can land up getting the entire cycle of debuffs if we wanted. I'm not doing that because it bloats the passive pool, and I'm just looking for multicast, cast frequency, and beautiful upgrades like that. So we don't want that like this one. That's beautiful. We are going to banish the duration over there, but the multicast looking good. Like I mentioned, you can get that. We are going to banish it. I don't need the bleed. Multicast on everything and the multicast on power blast. So there's a double multicast. and we'll end up getting blast support. So there is I nearly banished it. So there is a chance to get blast support. What this does is it means we get the damage. Wait, let's go damage 12% on these. So you can see over here we don't have any damage skill modifiers, sitting at 88% crit damage and 64. There's also no there is potency, sorry. So 150% potency, 60% potency. Let's lock this one so we can show it. So again, 150, 60%. When we grab that, it then goes to 198 and 108 potency. So we got quite a lot of damage just from that. 12% on each skill. So in total, we're actually looking at 48% increased damage over there, which is massive for a single passive. So it's really, really cool that we got 4 blast skills, and it does mean we're going to get blast to chaos, which is giving us huge amounts of damage. Again, 198 potency all the way up to 246 over there. So really, really good for buffs. That also means that we just got a whack ton of cast frequency upgrades for our character, and therefore making us that much stronger and that much faster. So really, really, really strong, really, really good to use. And there we go, we get chaos to the blast now for more damage. That means they all just got 24 damage over there. Oh, it's 16 per thing, so 32% damage over there for all of the other skills, and another damage over here. So it goes from 102% to 122% cast frequency. For a rare upgrade is pretty insane, if I have to say so myself. So really, really, really strong. Just need to get that cooldown a little bit lower, and that should be game for that. So once we get that lower, 0.3 second on our quick blast, 0.5 second on that, and everything's under 1 second. Even the buffs themselves have like a 5-second cooldown on the chaotic surge, which is insanely low for buff skill. If we were running other things like that, that's just pretty insane. Alright, lethality is good. Cast frequency, there we go. Now we don't need cast frequency there anymore. We do have 88% increased crit chance. We do need to get it to 100, so we are going to lock this one. We do want the cast frequency over there. Do want that multicast as well. There we go, beautiful. So now we're on 100% crit chance. We can work on more crit. Again, if we had to keep going further and further into the Overlord cycles, we would keep getting more and more crit. Unfortunately, I don't believe we'll get any of those crit upgrades from the Chaos 2 Blast and things like that. It's all luck. In this case, I don't think we will get that much luck going forward with regards to those. I think we were very lucky in the ones that we got already, but we can just work on getting like the rare or uncommon crit upgrades to help us get more crit. And then the more crit we have, the more crit damage we get as well, because of our critical mastery rune. Alright, disarray is good. Multi-shot, potency, we are getting some beautiful upgrades over here. Very lucky, we haven't really had to use much re-rolling except to get to our skills, which, you know, you don't really need to do, but it's nice to get them as quickly as possible. Oh man, it's so cool, especially with the ammunition. There's one skill that's going to go off 5 times guaranteed every single time, and it just looks really, really cool. We are like a moving shotgun right now. Okay, we didn't need to take the cast frequency there, but we accidentally did. Overall cast frequency we do want. Still need a little bit more to hit the 0.2 second cast or cooldown on the skills. I do wonder what the limit or what the limit is on each skill to get that skill to 0.2 seconds. I do know there are some members on the Discord, not my Discord, but the Soulstone Survivors Discord, that do know the exact amounts for certain skills. And they would be able to say to you, listen, you can get this amount and you'll be good. Whereas I'm not one of those people, so I don't actually know it. So this one's already on 70% plus the 146%. So I think you need about 300%. or more or less. I don't know. Could be either. If you are one of those people on the Discord and you're watching this, please let me know. But we're going to do one more round just so we can get that little bit extra. Just get those extra runs in there, get those extra skill points and see if we can get any more ridiculous than what we already are. But I don't think, unless we can hit like 0.2 seconds on one of these two or get insane amounts of cast frequency on Bloodlust, potency in this case, I don't see us doing that much more in terms of stats and things like that. And that's why I meant like this does have a plateau quite hard because we're not getting that many buffs. We do get the aptitude and disarray from our skill tree, and we get the ammunition and shattered from our artifact power and things like that. But it just doesn't feel like it's enough when you get to the Overlord cycle 4, 5, and 6. And if you're already feeling that way at those Overlords, you know that as soon as you hit 7, 8, you're going to have a very non-fun time. So that's why I say like this one's more visually just really, really cool. But in terms of damage and where it can take you, it's not one of those ones. It could have just been the way I built it as well though. Alright, potencies and... ooh, there's a nice... oh wait, we're at 0.2 now. Fantastic, so we don't need that cast frequency anymore. We'll take that. Damage? Yeah, why not? I mean, I could have re-rolled there, but we'll take the damage. Still 0.4. It probably needs the same amount of cast frequency, so we probably need a little bit more cast frequency on that one to get it down to a much better time. But at least we did get something down to a 0.2 second cooldown, which is fantastic. Oh man, look at that, it's ridiculous. You gotta just admire how awesome this looks. Just admit it looks so cool. Alright, we get a blast to chaos. We're not interested in that, unfortunately. Not gonna help us much. We're gonna grab the cast frequencies over there, and we're on a 0.3 second cooldown now. Trying to get it even lower. Forward. Nearly at the end. We get a huge legendary upgrade over here. That is fantastic for our buckshot, or for the power blast. I think it affects these as well. We'll take a look. So 164, if we grab that, it does go up, so that is massive for everything. So getting those legendary upgrades for damage, everything over here is physical, so actually going Divine Legacy could be very, very strong here instead of something like Focus Fire. I did take Focus Fire to offset the reduced damage from Fateful Strike. But in hindsight, getting ourselves, I mean, we're on level 122, we would have received 5 legendary damage upgrades. That could be really, really, really strong in terms of damage for our buffs. So potency, since the legendary damage upgrades do affect potency of the buffs, as we saw. So I should have, maybe that was a good idea. Maybe it's not. I don't know. We got to try and see where that would have taken us, but we can't really stop and start over and see. But I mean, nearly 200% cast frequency there, 0.3 seconds on everything, 0.2 over there, and 1 second on Power Blast is actually superb. So I think that was a really good representation of the skills. Again, if I wanted to take this further, I think we would have to convert this to dot damage, to be honest, or add other blast skills like Napalm Blast for the Shattered, or get ourselves a projectile or 2 in there instead of 4 blast, so that we can get things like our Dazed and Aptitude for the crit damage and the crit chance and things like that. But there we go. Stats were 947 crit damage, 148 crit chance, plus the extra damage and stuff that we got here. 115% increased damage, 385 cast frequency, obviously because of Bloodlust, which gave us really good stats on our skills over there. We could go and add even more now, whatever the case may be. But there we go. Let's see what did the most damage. We did do 2 cycles over there, so 3 rounds, 12 minutes. Again, it's not going to be the fastest, but there we go. Power Blast, like I mentioned, we were going to get the Ammo Overload and Power Blast to be the most amount of damage, because we did take damage upgrades for them. So great that they did that amount of damage there. Power Blast dealing nearly double the amount of damage as Ammo Overload, but we did focus on the Power Blast with the crit and all that. If we took that away from it, the Demonic Portal probably would have been doing the most amount of damage. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this in the future. And always remember, keep safe, survivors. Until next time, cheers.